we cut about 4¼ inches off both of these back frame tubes. We brought the base of the frame up. So since we did that, bring this part where the spars go out and the spar connections, we had to bring those up. We brought that up so that we keep the hoop segment the same. Having them 6 inches as opposed to 8 inches apart is not going to really change things that much. Looks like they're 5½ inches apart. That'll still work with the motor mount that we have. The top harness connection, we're going to place that on. That should get us pretty close to what our commercial paramotor is at. If we bring that top harness connection down, which we have just by shortening the frame, we're going to have to lengthen this top spar. Let's go through this one more time. We cut the back frame tube 4¼ inches. We had to bring these side spar connections up, and now we have the top part of the frame is lowered essentially because we cut the bottom part. We moved this up to keep the hoop segments the same, but now this top spar is the same length as the side spars. Before it was shorter, now it's exactly the same length, and we didn't have to change the angle of that, and we were able to keep the same top hoop segment lengths. So those didn't change that much. So next design, I'm going to try to bring these connections up, probably to where the top motor mount is. That might get us the same length. That's the goal, is to get the bottom hoop segments and the top hoop segments the same length. So we're right in the center. I've got the engine back on, this being the top here. I'm going to go ahead and drill those holes where they're at. I've got it equally spaced between the sides. So we're at 2 inches there. We're at 2 inches there. This will actually allow us to use a smaller motor mount. We won't need one as long as what we had before. So I'll be able to shorten that, it looks like, by about 1.5 inches from what I originally had designed. All right, that should get us there. This will get us, drill the other holes from the other side. That's kind of what I want to do. I don't have to try to get past this muffler. Oops, I need to lean that up a little bit. Other holes here, since I know those are aligned the way they should be, let me get that pull start out of there. It's kind of stuck in there before All right, so that's good enough. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to get those bolts all going the same way, get those run down, and then I'll put the gas tank back on. Hole that I used last time. Now, when I say the hole that I used, the hole in the connection, but there's not the, I don't have a hole yet in the tubing because I had to move the frame around. And that should be the same size of a bolt that we were using last time, except now it's going to run all the way through there. I'm going to do the same thing opposite side. Having that on there as opposed to just having a single bolt. It does add a little weight, but the strength that I'm going to gain on it is going to be offset by the weight gain. I'm going to bring that around and strap that back to that support tube. All right, there we go. Bump that up a little bit. Make sure it'll latch down. Should latch now. Yeah, there we go. Good. And that'll lock it in there. And then I'm going to drill new holes. This one should be fine. There we go. There's that one. So I'm going to go ahead and install that choke. That'll give me, then I'm going to move it back to the choke position because I need to be able to pull on it. All right, there's that bad boy on there. All right. So probably what I'll do is bring that down and I'll clip those off. There we go. Now, before I double back it, I'm going to do the same thing over here, and I want to make sure, because of that I don't give it really any leeway to move around side to side. Pop that bad boy on there. Yeah, looks good. Looks like everything's going to fit on this side. Before I run that bolt down, though, I'm going to put that other one on. We'll do another hang check, and then we'll run these back. All right, that looks good. Make sure everything feels good. Where's our throttle? I need to change the strap on that throttle. All right, so that's going to be good. Everything reaches where we need it to be. Feels like it's positioned the same. If we don't get that before the second test flight, netting is the next thing to set up. I put snaps so that they snap in. I think I'm going to create something that I can cinch down to lock these in. I may just drill the hole for today and put the tie-ins, but eventually I'll have something. I'd like for it to lock behind the frame, but I may drill it all the way through. But we've got those snaps here and here, and then we did these two areas, and then on these two areas. That one's difficult to see. Easiest way to do this is just keep it all hooked up and drill the holes first if you're doing it after the fact. Cinch that down, and I'll run this one through up here, and then I'll trim those down. I don't have to worry about this thing popping loose, and I'll do that all the way around. And if the winds are light and we have to do a forward, at least we'll have something that'll prevent these from popping. You have to clean up those holes that you drill, otherwise they could cut in to your tie down, or you can use stainless steel wire and then tuck that wire in on the other side. That would lock it down. This, again, I'll probably end up doing some snaps where these snap in like these, but I didn't have any this size. All right, we're just letting that warm up a little bit before we take it on its second flight. All right, that's pretty good.